Hola guys and girls, and welcome to the next deck check of the 4 revealed mass mutation cards. This time we are going to look at Cyclonium Chamber Agent. I will upload these right after another. I just want to package them with different videos so you don't have to like watch a whole 1 hour's whatever video. I think this is like the better format for that. And I'm excited for that because we do see some sins here, so I'm excited to get to that point. But yeah, these were revealed from Fantasy Flight themselves. They revealed these 4 decks right here for us to download, I guess print out and then play with them. But yeah, we already got through the first deck in the last video. Now let's go over this. And first of all, we see the Bonesaw. We already know that creature was revealed before. 5 power demon with, if a friendly creature was destroyed this turn, Bonesaw enters into play ready. Pretty super nice. This of course known for destroying a lot of stuff. So if you have like an easy action card or you have some disc creatures on board already, so wait, never mind, it says a friendly creature. So you need to sacrifice your own creatures to have this enter play ready, which is pretty easy done. You can just run one creature into a different creature of your opponent. So, and it's a 5 power demon. I want to say it's decent. Like it's just a plain vanilla 5 power creature which potentially get into play ready, which can enter play sometimes very nicely, where you need some damage on a creature, or you need another creature gone, you need to get rid of an elusive tag, or you just want to reap for one. So it's definitely good at that, but after that it's like a vanilla 5 power creature, which definitely you can hope for some better stuff than that. But yes, it's the Bonesaw. The name is awesome. I like it a lot. But yeah, then we got Dark Minion, which has the damage enhance symbol, so that's where maybe this enhance symbol comes from. And as the effect destroyed, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. Okay, that's some. Is if Misery Exploit in the set as well? Because if it is, this is an awesome card. You get to ping every opposing creature, and if you have a Misery Exploit in hand, you just get out of the Aember, basically. All of the Aember. Having multiple of these is pretty nice, because 2 power is like where most weak creatures lie. There's not a lot of 1 power creatures running around. I mean, you have one in front of you right here. But most of the annoying creatures which you want to ping down with small damage are 2 power. So having 2 Dark Minions is obviously pretty nice in that regard. Other than that, I don't know how good I think this card is. It depends if if you can get it together with Misery Exploit, then this card is going to be awesome. But if not, I'm not so sure how effective it's going to be. It's like it gets rid of all of the ward icons on the opposing cards, so I guess that is like it's not a terrible card. But usually I always have to struggle. Like I could have had some other disc creature or a card instead of this, and depends what the overall power level of card's going to be. But it's a fun card for sure. With Misery Exploit, awesome. If not, still can get rid of some ward creatures. Then you have the Gateway to this. Well-known card already. Destroy everything. I'm not going to go too deep into that. Then we have the Implosion, which you already saw as well. Gets an extra Aember and destroy a friendly creature and an enemy creature. So this, for example, already very easy way to enable your Bonesaw to get into play ready. You get to kill one of yours and then one opposing creature. So great effect, because obviously you're gonna get rid of something which you don't necessarily need, and get rid of something on your opponent's side which he desperately needs. You can reap if a creature before as well, get the extra Aember, then destroy it. Maybe your creature has a destroyed effect as well. I think this card is perfect for this, which has some nice destroyed effects, or maybe you have in another creature out of the field with a nice destroyed effect from a different house. And you just destroy that, destroy an opposing creature. This card, I think, fits the theme of this as well, very well, and it's an awesome card, I think, to be honest. I think it's very nice, especially if you have the correct destroyed effect, and it gets an extra Aember as well. So it gives you some easy board control. You can even choose a creature from yourself which is warded, remove the ward token, and destroy an opposing creature, so you don't even lose a creature through that. So yeah, like I said, I like this quite a lot, since you get to choose both of them. So it makes it very versatile in that regard. Then we got Break Key. Action card gives you an extra Aember, and the effect, if your opponent has more forged keys than you, which happens quite a lot, unforge an opponent's key. If you unforge an opponent's key, this way your opponent gains 6. So it's basically, so it is similar to Keyhammer, but Keyhammer only destroys the key if he forged the key last turn. It only works then. This, the awesome wording, the wording is great in comparison to Keyhammer, because what the problem was with Keyhammer is if you play it, your opponent will get 6 Aember. Doesn't matter if you destroy the key or not. You give your opponent 6 Aember, because it doesn't say if you unforge a key. This sentence is missing in Keyhammer. So this in that regard great. Even if it doesn't have any effect, you just play it and gain the Aember. You have no downside to this. With Keyhammer, you have to always discard it or keep it in hand. There's like your 2 options. You can't just play it for the Aember. So I'm liking this card quite a lot. The effect with your opponent has more forged key happens a good amount of times. Unforging an opponent's key comes mostly into play if you have stuff like a Drumble, or something which makes the key cost more expensive for your opponent. So you unforge the key, make it cost 3 more, and then basically they lost 3 Aember due to this combination of cards. So I like this quite a lot. It's definitely a better Keyhammer for sure. because even if you are the one with more keys, it's like a nice comeback card. But even if you're ahead right now, you still can just play it and gain the extra Aember. So I like this quite a lot. I'm a big fan of Break Key. Then we got Double Doom, which we don't talk about this. We want to just see what the cards would be without the extra symbols potentially. But yeah, it has an action card with the effect: return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. Your opponents discard a random card from their hand. Okay, this I'm not so sure. Return an enemy creature to its owner's hand, and then your opponent discards a random card from their hand. It doesn't give you any extra Aember. It isn't uncommon. Oh wait, return. Okay, never mind. For some reason I thought you return it from a discard pile to the hand, but no, it's from the field. Okay, so then it's good. It's good. It says it's a mind bar plus a fear without the extra Aember. So it's great. You can of course potentially get rid of the card you got right away, but it's a super nice effect. You first board control and hand control, which is very cool. Yeah, I like it a lot. Like, it's a combination of fear plus mind bar, but you lost the extra Aember. So yeah, it's a cool card for sure. I don't know what I was thinking. I have to return from the discard pile, whatever. But yeah, then we got Desire. Okay, we see some Sins right here. 3 power Sin with key cost +4, and then Reap, forge a key at current cost, reduced by 1 for each friendly Sin creature. So we do have 4 each Sin effects. That was what I was thinking about, because they mentioned on stream you can have at least 3 Sins in your deck, but up to all 7. And we were thinking like, okay, are there maybe some bad Sins you don't want in your deck? Because you rather have some other discards in your deck instead of all 7. But this, for example, is great for this effect. Obviously wants you to have as many Sins on the board as possible. The key cost thing is a great combination. This is exactly the effect I was talking about you need together with the Break Key. This is already a great combo in this deck. You can see right here, where's the Break Key? Why is it lagging right now? There we go, there's the Break Key. You make the opponent lose a key, gain 6 Aember, and then they make a key cost +4 and they lose the Aember right away. I like this Sin as well, since it has an immediate effect, which is a key cost +4. So far, all the Sins we saw, the one on stream and this one, had Reap effects. So yeah, but we do see some 4 each Sin creature effects. So that makes you want as much Sins as possible. I like this, I think, a bit more than the other Sin we saw so far. Then you have Envy, elusive, 3 power, Reap. If there are 2 or more friendly Sin creatures, capture all of... Ooh, this, for example, is awesome as well together with the Break Key. You get rid of the key, 6 Aember on that, and then you capture all of it on potentially elusive creature. But you need 2 or more friendly Sins for that. So you do want... you need a good amount of Sins for that to happen. You do need... It's the Reap effect as well, so it's difficult to pull off. So basically, the best thing is you have this already on the field, then you play the second Sin, or the third Sin in that sense, and then you reap it immediately, because if you play it and you have 3 Sins on the board but you can't trigger the effect right away, the opponent's just gonna get rid of it. Like, it's an easy target for the opponent to get rid of. But yeah, all these effects, like so far the only Sin we saw was Reap, ward each Sin, so that's not dependent on how many Sins you have, really, but these 2 already, you want as much Sins as possible in the deck, it seems. And then you have Pride, yeah, that was the one we saw on stream, ward each friendly Sin creature. Of course it's better if you have many Sins, you ward more creatures, but other than that it's Reap, ward itself. Not an awesome card, awesome design, like I love the design, like all the Sins, the designs are awesome. But I think effect-wise, these 2, I think it's of course so far the best one from the 3. Then I would say this one, and then we have the Pride, but let's see, we have Wrath as well. Taunt, Poison, Skirmish. Okay, this guy likes to fight. For each friendly Sin creature, enrage an enemy creature. This is, once again, in for each Sin effect. It's a fight effect as well. But I like this still quite a lot. Taunt, Poison, and Skirmish. So it protects, it has Poison, so if you attack it, you will die if you don't armor yourself. And Skirmish plus with free armor as well. So this is a great card, I think. This is not great, but it's good, for sure. Like, it's good protection, it's good removal potentially, and it's a decent effect. I think effect-wise, that's the weakest one, like enrage an enemy creature for each Sin. I think these 3 have the better effects there. So far, I like Desire the most, I have to say. So far, I like it the most. It works for you as well, but obviously with like stuff like the Implosion, you have very much control over getting rid of this and making your own key cost not too much. But then we go to Logos cards, and this has always an extra Aember, Electric, and Curiosity. Archive the top 2 cards of your deck. Okay, pretty straightforward effect. Pretty like it's. I like the archiving and stuff like that. I like it a lot. You sadly don't really have control what you're archiving. It's gonna be the top 2 decks, so it might be cards from different houses, which you once you get into hand, you don't get to play right away. So it sometimes might be, if you have some control of the order in the deck, but it's always going to be a good card. You gain extra Aember, you get to archive 2. Always going to be a good card. Makes you draw faster for your deck, because makes the next turn you can just get them back to hand, and it's basically a draw 2, but 1 turn later. So yeah, I like it a lot. And gets you an extra Aember as well, so it's a good card. Definitely a good card. I wouldn't mind having multiple of these in the deck. Then you have Efficient Principle, we know already that thing exists. And then we have the Q-Max. Play, draw a card, destroyed, archive Q-Max. Okay, this is a cool card as well. You play it right away, and if it's destroyed, it gets into your archive, so you can pump up your archives. If you have something like Edi again in the set, which benefits if you have a lot of cards in archives, this card is going to be awesome. Other than that, it's decent, I want to say. You get to draw a card, so it replaces itself. I mean, it's definitely great, I think. I think it's replacing itself is already nice. You get a body on the board, which the opponent not necessarily wants to get rid of, because you get to draw again otherwise. So you can just keep it on the board, maybe fight into something to get an archives yourself, maybe get rid of an elusive tag, just reap with it. So I think I like it. I think I don't mind having multiple of these in the deck as well. Standardized testing, that's a thing as well. Great support removal for Logos. And then we have Kronos, that got revealed on stream as well. Enhance 2, so you get 2 draw symbol on cards in your deck. And the effect, after you resolve a draw Archon, you may archive a card. Awesome effect. Like, this is the more awesome part. This is like very situational, because one, you need like 2 things happening to this actually work out. You need Kronos on board, and you need a card with a draw icon to play ready. So you have to get it on board, and then maybe your draw icons are in a different house, so you have to hope that he stays on board, so you actually trigger the effect. I think the enhanced 2 draw icons is the more impactful effect of this card, because the draw icon is I think I would like this one the most, because drawing cards, getting faster through the deck is just awesome. And usually the one who wins the game is the one who played the most cards, and the way you're going to play more cards if your hand is bigger than your opponent, and that's why drawing cards is so awesome in card games. But yeah, Kronos, good card for sure. Like, this is a good effect as well if you get it off, but it's not going to happen that often, because for one, draw enhanced symbols seem to be rather rare. I didn't see too many of those yet, and it's like you need a lot of things in line for that to actually trigger. It depends on how likely the opponent is to get rid of this, to be fair. But yeah, we have Mutagenic Serum. Gets an extra Aember artifact. Omni, destroy Mutagenic Serum. You may use friendly mutant creatures as turn. Ooh, this could be very nice. This could for sure very nice, depending on the mutants in the deck. Like, we have one right here in Kronos already, but I think it's the only one so far. But it's an Omni effect as well. So you can use it in any house, and you can use every mutant in every house. So this is a nice card. Obviously, it depends on the decks how many mutants you have. So how impactful it's going to be, but it's quite good, I think. Because it's not... You have like the Ritual of the Hunt and the Scizor of Brotherhood, where you get to use different houses in a different turn. But this lets you use multiple houses. You can potentially use cards from all 3 houses, if they are mutants. And yeah, just go nuts on the opponent, depending on what combinations of things you can do. So I like this card quite a lot. They have Neurosiphon, we already know that card. That comes back, which is pretty nice. It's a decent card for sure, I like it a lot. Then you have Mind Over Matter. Put each creature into its owner's archives. Board wipe for Logos. Very nice. It depends on the board as well, how effective this is going to be. Since if you have a lot of play effects, you don't mind this, you actually like this effect. But your opponent has a lot of play effects, maybe it's a bit more troublesome. But the good thing is, since it's similar to Hysteria in that regard, you send them to archives, and they need like a few turns to get everything on the board again, barring they only had 1 house on the board. Then this is not going to be as effective. But if you get to archive creatures from every house, they need at least 3 turns to get all of them on the board again. So it's similar to Hysteria in that regard. I think it's actually a better... Is it a better... No, it depends. Because Hysteria is better if you have play effects, whereas if your opponent has a lot of play effects, Hysteria is worse. So it's a different Hysteria, I want to say. It's like... It depends, and I still like it a lot. It's a good, easy... It's a rare though, Hysteria was only an uncommon, so it's gonna be... You're not gonna have this card in a lot of decks, but it's a cool one, for sure. Then we have Skippy Timehawk, we already know that card as well, and then we have the Umbra board, so we have some mutants here as well. Yeah, the Umbra thing, I think the Umbra part is the elusive one, and then the bot part is the reap, discard a card from your hand if you do draw a card. It adds up to 3 power, so one of them, Umbra or the bot part, only has 1 power. If I would have to say, what is more likely, 1 power elusive or 2 power reap, discard if you do draw a card? I think the Umbra part is 1 power only. I think it's 1 power elusive, and the bot part is 2 power reap, discard a card from your hand if you do draw a card. I think that's how it works. But either way, let's go to Shadows now. Dark Wave. Gets an extra Aember and has the play effect, deal 2 Aember to each non-mutant creature. So it's similar to a Poison Wave, but only for non-mutants. So once again, I think it's worse than Poison Wave. because this is more situational, depending on your deck, than the board state, the opposing deck. Poison Wave always does 2 damage to everything, so you know how to, you can better play around this. This, like, it's a common, I don't know if Poison Wave is common as well, but it's more situational, so I think I like this card. I mean, it depends, right? Because in some decks it's going to be better than Poison Wave, in other decks it's going to be worse than Poison Wave. And since I think it might actually be better than Poison Wave due to that, since in some decks it's going to be better in general, and you just need the correct deck, and this kind of card can be awesome. So I think I might actually like it more than Poison Wave, to be fair, now that I think about it. But okay, let's go to look over there. As the play effect, deal 2 damage to a creature. If it's not destroyed, steal 1. Okay, so it's similar to Relentless Whispers in that regard. It's worse though. It's worse though. It's easier to enable. That depends on the power of the creatures, but you're not allowed to destroy something to steal something. You are not allowed to destroy it. So I think it's actually easier enabled, but you don't get the board control. It's a fun card for sure. It's like the Nerve Shock, Relentless Whispers. Look over there. It's like very similar cards, just shuffled around with the effects a little bit. But I think out of the 3, I think this one the worst one, because the other ones, they combine board removal with stealing. This is basically just stealing and doing damage. It's not really board control directly, since you're not allowed to destroy something. So, but it's still nice to chip damage for sure. Then we got the Red Penny, play steal 1 and then destroy it, shuffle it back into your deck. We always knew this card was a thing. Nice, it's an Urchin, which isn't elusive, but you get to recycle it. And this is a card you don't mind having recycled. Play steal 1 is always a great effect. I like Red Penny a lot, definitely better than Bad Penny. I don't see anyone discarding this at any point on their own violation. That makes sense. Red Penny, great card, is now a mutant as well, which is not affected by. I mean, this card actually you would want destroyed at some point. It's actually bad that he's a mutant together with the Dark Wave. But yeah, then we got Subtle Auto, 1 power creature, Mutant Thief. Your opponent discards a random card from your hand. Great card. So it's the subtle chain. Yeah, that's why it's subtle part. Every subtle thing is always with discarding. 1 power creature, which I think I like the subtle chain more because it gives you an Aember right away. This, of course, leaves a body, which can reap, which can fight, all this good stuff. But I usually like the immediate effects more. You play it, you immediately get the reward out of the extra Aember. This card, it depends how long it can stay on the field. But still, it's a cool card. Discarding cards, always nice, especially if you can get some chains on the opponent. Quite good for sure. Then, let me cut this out. That was the first video which finished rendering, so it's showing on screen. But yeah, Tempting Offer gives you an extra Aember action card, gives an capture symbol as well. As the play effect, return enemy creature to its owner's hand. Good effect. If you do, your opponent gains 1. Okay. It's like it gives you an extra Aember, so it's a fear with an extra Aember, but you give your opponent Aember as well. But you can potentially capture 1 as well. So it depends. I'm not really a fan of this card, because giving your opponent an Aember is just for returning it. Like, if it would be for destroying, yeah, then I would say, yeah, okay, this can work. It's the Whisper as an action card. This could be a good card. But just to return a creature to an opponent's hand and you give him 1, I don't think I like this card. I think this is a bad one. I think it's the first time from the cards I see, I definitely see this. I wouldn't want this card in my deck. But okay, then we got the Miasma Bomb. Enhanced damage thingy, and destroy Miasma Bomb, you skip your opponent's forge. Okay, so it's Miasma as an artifact, which gives a damage symbol. I don't really know how it relates. It's a bomb, so I guess that's how it relates. But yeah, I guess it's good. It's the Miasma, which you don't have to hold on or discard or just play for the Aember. I like Miasma more, since you can just play it for the Aember as well. And this is on the board, it's an artifact, the opponent can more easily interact with that than with action cards. But still, it's a good artifact. I don't mind the Miasma Bomb. Then we got Reckless Rizzo, which is elusive. The first time, yeah, we know what elusive does. Action Steal 2. Great effect, let's read the rest. Until the start of your next turn, Reckless Rizzo loses elusive. That's an awesome effect. Like, if you manage to get this off, Steal 2, you don't mind this thing using elusive. Once you were able to steal 2, this thing did its job. So obviously it's only 1 power, it has elusive, but it's only 1 power. I think it's having 1 power is more problematic than him having elusive, because basically every damaging spell will get rid of it. Every extra damage symbol will kill this thing. So I don't really like the losing elusive. Is like, they might as well just rotate until the start of your turn next to, just destroy Reckless Rizzo, steal 2, and then this thing kills itself. because if this somehow survives, like, I don't think this is like a really punishment for this card. I don't think, like, yes it is, but I don't think this punishment really matters. If this thing survives, you get a steal too. He's like, it's not gonna be luckily enough. You're gonna be lucky enough if this actually survives till you use it, till you manage to use it. And if it managed to survive even longer, I don't think it was because the thing had elusive. It's because you had like protection for the thing, or the opponent had no creatures or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's not an immediate effect, and he will probably get removed very soon. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a great card just because it's so easily removed and you don't get to steal immediately. But if it gets there on the board, you just steal 2 and it's awesome effect. Plus, it's in 4 Aember balance switch. Then we get a safe house, an artifact with 1 extra Aember. Archive a friendly creature from play. Awesome effect with play effects. Did we see some great play effects? Yeah, for example, Red Penny. Great. You just archive Red Penny, boom, play it against tier 2. If you see Ronnie's here or what other play effects, awesome card, like it a lot. This card I like a lot, especially gives you an extra Aember as well. Wouldn't mind having multiple of those in the deck. Then we got the Mole, we saw this on stream. This creature gains the opponent may spend on creatures as if it were in your pool. Very situational, to be fair. Depends if your opponent has a Saurian or Sanctum or something like that, or extra capture symbol. Sometimes this card is not going to be effective at all, but you can still play it on something, at least gain the extra Aember. And it's rare, so it's not going to be in a lot of decks. But yeah, it's decent, I say. It's very situational. Depending on the deck, it can be very impactful, but to be fair, the most standard format is going to be Archon. And if the opponent sees you have the Mole in your deck, he's not going to stack a lot of Aember on one creature, because he knows, without being able to get rid of it very soon, because he knows you have a Mole in the deck. So it's decent. And not great, but it's decent. And then we got the Lyco Thief. Okay, we got the Lyco part, which is the skirmish one, and the Thief part. So I guess the Umbra Thief, which it would be, is 1 power elusive, and the Lyco part is a 2 power skirmish creature. I think that makes the most sense. That would mean, in together with combination with, let's actually look at the other deck. Let's try to decipher this. Here's this different deck. We saw some stuff in Saurian with the Umbra as well. Lycosaurus here. So that means the Saurus is 3 power this effect. And that means the Sacro thing, the Sanctum thing, would be 3 power 2 armor. I think that I deciphered, that's what I would decipher so far. Oh, that's the next deck, that's a spoiler. But yeah, this is this deck already. If you did enjoy this video, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Be excited for the next video. And yeah, I will see you another time. Ciao.